Hey everybody, it's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable, the podcast. It is Wednesday, February the 5th. Hey, we're getting through February. I can't wait. I can't wait. Super Bowl Sunday, Eagles are in it. Unbelievable. Think about it. Our Eagles in the Super Bowl. Think about how terrible it was last year when we had to endure the stinking whiny 49ers in the Super Bowl. We had to sit here and watch that crap. Huh? 49ers Chiefs. Let's hope we never have to endure that again. Huh? That was torture. Anyway, we're going to talk about Eagles in a minute. I got to tell you, yesterday I was a guest on a podcast, and it was a great time, fun time, 90 minutes, and talked about what it's like to have osteogenesis imperfecta for our bones. We talked about the past, we talked about now, we talked about my memoir, Unbreakable Spirit, we talked about the book I'm writing now. It was just great. And so I want to thank everybody out there. Thank you, Allie, the name of the person who did the interview. He's a great guy, Dave Allie, and we had fun. And if you're out there, Allie, thank you very much. And the podcast will be out in a few weeks. They need time to edit it, to promote it, put it all together. I will, once I have a link, I'll put it on my site on Twitter or whatever you call it, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, wherever I am. So please look for it and check it out. I think it was a good time. A good time was had by all. They need time. This is a really professional site here. They publish books and they do podcasts and they need time to edit it. Unlike this crappy podcast that I'm doing, where I don't do that stuff, mistakes, I'm just too lazy to do it. And bloopers are a part of life. Look at it, some of the most popular programs out where bloopers from blah 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 whatever. They put all these bloopers together from all these TV shows. I Love Lucy, blah 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 blah, and people love them. They love to see mistakes. They love to see people do stupid things, wrong things. So anyway, and you must, because you watch me every day. Anyway, so it's going to take a few weeks, but I'll let you know when that's together, and I appreciate you checking it out. So, what else is going on? The dogs are across the hallway listening to 60s music, which is cool. So I'm here chilling. I'm doing some writing. And I'm chilling out, and across the hall, it's down on the corner, early in the street, we'll let the football and play. Da, 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 or maybe you'll have Here Comes the Sun, do 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 do. Here comes the sun. I say it's all these great 60s songs, It just takes me back. It takes me back. I think the 60s is the best music because it's so diverse. You had the British invasion with the Beatles and the Kinks. Remember the Kinks and the Hollies and Hermits and the Rolling Stones, of course. All these great British groups coming over. And then you had the psychedelic music of the late 70s, or the late 60s, I'm sorry. You had Jefferson Airplane, and Three Dog Night, and all those great groups, the Turtles and the Doors. And it was just great music. And when you listen to it, the dogs are across the hall chilling out and sleeping and listening to 60s music. It just gets you. So I love 60s music. The next decade, I think I love the most, along with the 60s, are the 80s. And I'll tell you why. the 80s were like a breath of fresh air because we were coming out of the 70s. And there's some songs I like from the 70s, some artists. I mean, we got Elton John out of the 70s, got Billy Joel coming out of the 70s, right? We had a lot of classic rock was from the 70s. That's when the big stadium tours started, you know, and it was a really good time for music, but it was also a lot of stupid music too, like the bubblegum stuff, and then you had disco. Ugh. Some of it was okay. We still love the Bee Gees. To me, the Bee Gees were, I can't say the Bee Gees were disco because they weren't. The Bee Gees were much more than disco. If you know the Bee Gees, the Bee Gees were very popular before the disco era with their British music, and then they were actually popular after the disco era. The Bee Gees still they kept reinventing themselves over and over again, and you had to give them credit because they were the kings of disco. When you thought of disco, you thought of the Bee Gees and Saturday Night Fever, that great album. But then everybody got tired of disco. We got sick of disco. They started burning it in the streets and destroying it. And it's like we don't want to hear disco. Okay. That disco was an assault on the human ear. I mean, it was an affront to rock and roll, which is all true. I mean, disco had its time and then it passed, thank God. It passed. Just like every other wave of kind of music, punk rock, and it all comes and goes. But what was cool about the 80s was he started breaking away from all that disco crap from the 70s, and you started getting more into rock and roll again, and you started having like more. Michael Jackson came into as a solo performer. Prince, we discovered Prince, how great Prince was. Uh, we had Tina Turner, Madonna. All of a sudden we had all these female lead singers, the bands like the Bangles and the Go Go's. The 80s just sort of blossomed. You know, we were returning to rock and roll again. We still had the stadium tours, and it was sort of an awakening again. You know, and the 80s have its sound, and some of it is dated down with the drum beat, the drum machines and stuff. But I like the 80s because it was refreshing. Coming out of the smog of the 70s with the disco and the bubblegum music and all that, like Starland Vocal Band. Can you believe that Starland Vocal Band won Best Artist of the Year one year? This is we just had the Grammys last Sunday, right? It, I was reading about some of the hits and misses of the Grammys over the years, and how they like Starland Vocal Band. Come on, Afternoon Delight. What a terrible song! I hear that song on the radio now, and I want to throw up. You know, it's so bad. How did we put up with that crap back then? Oh, it makes me pissed off. And the fact that people loved it, and they actually got a Grammy for Best New Artist of the Year, and you never heard anything from them after, you know? Ah, and you think about some of the great albums and some of the great songs that were turned down in favor of SITH, like that. I want to say it's a G-rated show. Uh, but it's true, you know? So coming into the 80s, now 90s, I didn't care for it as much because then we started getting into more rap and more which isn't my cup of tea. It's fine for people who enjoy it. I never criticize anybody about music because everybody has their own taste. You know, I, I might like baseball, you might like football, I might like chocolate, you might like vanilla. Everyone has their own thing. which is fun. So, you know, to me, I'm just not into the rap music. I never was. So you get into the 90s more, that's you getting into more rap and stuff like that, which just isn't my cup of tea. You know? So to each his own. Anyway, my point is 60 to me, me. 60s music will always reign and 80s music, you know? That's the two things I will listen to most of all, rather than all this other crap. So there you go. All right. Let's talk Eagles. Because you know it's Wednesday, happy hump day, and we're getting closer to the game. 4 days away. Can you believe this? 4 days away from the Eagles, our birds being in the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl. We're not talking about just making a pledge. We're not talking about the NFC Championship game. The Super Bowl. Our birds from the Super Bowl. And they're playing the reigning two-time champion Kansas City Chiefs. And you know what? I'm sick of the Chiefs. I'm sure you are too. I've been seeing it on social media. I've been hearing it everywhere. Chiefs, Chiefs, Chiefs. I'm sick of the Chiefs. Go to hell. Chiefs, stop it. Yeah, like I've told you before on this show, if you watch me or listen to me every day, you know, people just don't like dynasty. They don't like people, they don't like teams who win too much. It's okay to win a little bit, but don't be winning like 3 titles in a row, and then don't be so arrogant about it, bragging like, you know, oh, we're the Chiefs, our crap doesn't stick. Yeah, that sort of thing. You know, it gets to you. So I think other than the Chief fans, I think other than people out in the Midwest, I think other than Taylor Swifties, um, I think a lot of people in this country and around the world love, maybe not love, that's probably a bad word to use, but are rooting for the Eagles, at least in this one game. And I know it's a bitter pill to swallow for some people. I know. It's really tough to swallow that pill and say, I am actually rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, it is a bitter pill to swallow, but especially if you're from Dallas or New York, yeah, or wherever, Washington. But it's true. You know what? Let's all get together. Let's all come together. The brothers we all are and the sisters, and root for the Eagles. So, right? A common bond, a common goal to bring us all together. And then after Sunday, okay, if you want to go your own way, go your own way. But if you want to stay on the bandwagon and be a Birds fan, you're welcome to do it. You're welcome to stay on the bandwagon. Eagles football is fun. And if you ever gone to an Eagles game before, you know it. Other than the people cursing and throwing up and doing stuff around you, okay. You know what, that happens though, Steve. We get a bad stuff, you know? Like hoity toity, like New York is perfect, you know? Yeah, give me a break. Uh we have fun at the games. We played a Rocky theme, that da 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 da, and then they let the eagle during the national anthem fly around the stadium. And I don't know how they do it, but the eagle comes back and sits on the lady's arm there with the glove on it, you know. And yeah, it's amazing. And people are tailgating like anything, you know. I will say, from what I understand, these two teams, Chiefs, Eagles, two of the best tailgating fans. They talk about Chiefs fans tailgating outside Arrowhead with the barbecue out there, you know, they're big on barbecue out there. And yeah. Even if the Bills would have got into the Super Bowl, you would have had uh great tailgates, great fans. Bills Mafia, great fans. But it is what it is. And the more I think about this game, my friends, the more I love the Eagles. And I'm not just saying that because I'm that ball Eagles crap. It's because the Eagles just have a better roster overall. Quarterback, okay, I'll give it to the Chiefs. I'll give it to the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes and all his greatness is better than Jalen Hurts. Okay. Coach, yeah, I'll give it to Andy Reid. Andy Reid's better than Nick Sirianni. And yes, those are two key parts of a football team, quarterback and coach. I'm the first one to say that. But overall, the Eagles have the better roster. They have the better players. They're playing better. They are not turning the ball over. They have 0 turnovers. Can you believe that? 0 turnovers in the playoffs. And yet they've taken the ball away like 10 times. The Eagles are just playing well. I think the Eagles are on a mission, and they are not that the Chiefs aren't motivated, because the Chiefs are. Winning 3 Super Bowls in a row has never been done before. Never. And I just think, the Chiefs can achieve history on Sunday if they win. So, yes, they're motivated, yes. But the Eagles have revenge on their side. Look what happened to them 2 years ago. Eagles have a better team right now. I don't know if Kansas City could say that. Because Kansas City really only lost 1 game the entire year. The other game they lost doesn't really count because they didn't play any of their starters. So how could you say, well, Kansas City is a better team and they only lost 1 game? Well, because I said it, and because it's true. Kansas City, to me, they have a good team. They have a solid defense. They still have Travis Kelce, who can and I think will turn it up this Sunday. He always plays well against the Eagles. The Eagles are susceptible to tight ends, just like the Chiefs are. I mean, look what Zach Ertz, our old friend Zach Ertz, did to the Eagles when they played Washington in the NFC Championship game. I think Travis Kelce is going to get his. I do. That's who Patrick Mahomes is going to go to when he needs a first down or when he's in the red zone. Look for Travis Kelce. I just don't think the Chiefs don't have the weapons as they used to have. And in proof of point, the Chiefs only scored 1 time in the 30s this year. That was the last game against Buffalo, where they just about got into the 30s. Chiefs just don't have the playmakers like they used to. They still get the job done, though. Somehow, some way, the Chiefs get the job done, and that's all that counts. I don't care if you win by 1 point or 40 points. The purpose is winning the frigging game, right? Winning the Super Bowl. So, the Chiefs they just do enough to win, and you got to give them credit, and I do. I tip my hat to the Chiefs. I really do. But the way I look at it is, Eagles get into the 30s, and I think the Eagles certainly can score in the 30s in this game. They have a good chance of winning because it's going to be hard for the Chiefs to keep up with them. I think the Eagles have to get out to the lead. I think they have to dictate the game to the Chiefs. Eagles want to run the ball, work on the clock. Great. They have Saquon Barkley to run the ball. If they need to throw the ball and get ahead or come from behind, great. They have A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith to catch the ball. The Eagles getting ahead is so important in this game because then they can dictate to the Chiefs. The Chiefs don't have much of a running game anyway. Chances are Patrick Mahomes, if he moves the ball and they score, he's going to throw the ball. I tell you right now, Patrick Mahomes is going to throw for, I think, close to 300 yards. And the reason I say that is because even if the Chiefs are ahead, he's still going to throw the ball because that's the way the Chiefs move the chains. So let him throw the ball, okay? I said this the other day. Don't let Patrick Mahomes break out in the pocket. He's most dangerous when he scrambles. Because you wouldn't think of Patrick Mahomes as being a runner, not like Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts or even Josh Allen or the kid on Washington there. What's his face? Uh, but he is a runner. Patrick Mahomes saves his best running from playoffs. And if you remember the last two Super Bowls, he ran like crazy. Don't let him do that because he picks up the first downs. He gets the Chiefs out of the hole. Keep Mahomes in the pocket where you can contain him and then crush his starting movers. And you just get some pressure on him. I'll tell you the one thing, my friends, before I go. If you have to take one thing to think about until tomorrow, because all week long, we're going to ramp it up and talk Super Bowl more and more and more. Okay. Up until Saturday, which will be my last show until the game. One thing you got to keep in mind, we're all focusing on the weapons. AJ Brown, Saquon Barkley, who's great. I think he's going to have a big game again. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. What this game is going to come down to is the line play. Don't forget, the Chiefs are missing two of their big tackles on the offensive line. It didn't show up as much against Buffalo last week, but it did against Houston. And remember that Houston game? Houston was pressuring Patrick Mahomes big time. And I thought Houston was going to win that game until they chipped like dogs at the end. And Houston couldn't cash in. They couldn't score touchdowns. I mean, you got to score touchdowns in the playoffs. But they really put the pressure on Patrick Mahomes, especially Will Anderson. That's what's going to happen Sunday. You're going to have the Eagles' big tackles. You're going to have the Zach Broad, linebacker. You're going to have the Eagles don't blitz much, but they need to put pressure on Mahomes, force him into mistakes, because that is the key to this game. Mistakes. Patrick Mahomes doesn't throw very many interceptions. He's Patrick friggin' Mahomes. But if you could force him to throw the ball a little bit sooner than he wants to, move his feet, don't get set, don't sit back there like a surgeon and pick you apart. If you could get to Patrick Mahomes, knock him down a few times, get your hands up in the air, force him to throw the ball when he doesn't want to throw the ball, you have a chance to beat him. And with our pass rush and our defense, which is the best in the NFL, by the way, we could do that. But we have to step up and do it. You cannot let Patrick Mahomes sit back there and pick you apart. And if you got to blitz. But Patrick Mahomes is great against the blitz. He is smart. He will pick it up, and he will make the necessary adjustments to burn you if you blitz. So, that's the key to the game. Because unless Patrick Mahomes gets hurt, the Carson Wentz comes into play. Frankie, wouldn't that be something? Carson Wentz against Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl? Who would have ever thought that would have happened a couple of years ago, huh? Jesus. Unless Carson Wentz comes in, you're going to have Patrick Mahomes till the end. And you're going to have to deal with him in the fourth quarter when he's really good. My point is, you put the pressure on Patrick Mahomes and you get the lead. Because come fourth quarter, when it's time for Patrick Mahomes to do his thing, guess what? Eagles have the lead. Eagles have the ball. They pound Saquon Barkley over and over again. They work on the clock. They drive the ball downfield. You don't stop. You don't take your foot off the gas. You add on and add on and add on with the points. And that's how you keep Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense at bay. Patrick Mahomes is not going to be able to hurt you if he's sitting his ass on the bench, right? Jesus. So that's what you got to do. Get the lead, work the clock with Barkley, add on. Because I don't believe all these people are saying 2017 game. No. You saw what happened last time these team plays. And the Eagles, I think, are even more explosive than 2 years ago. The Chiefs may not be, but the Eagles certainly are. I could easily see being like a 38-35 game. Easily. So Eagles cannot take their foot off the gas. They have to keep scoring and keep the ball away from Patrick Mahomes. Don't turn the ball over. Make them earn every freaking yard that they get. And make it tough for the Chiefs. They've had it easy enough, okay? Break Taylor Swift's heart, please. Break her heart. And nothing against the Swifties. I love Taylor Swift. I love all the Swifties, okay? But break her heart. Her and Travis Kelce can still get engaged on the field as losers, and they can still get married and happily ever after, and God bless them. But the Eagles need to win this game, and they need to win the Super Bowl. Damn it. Okay. On that pleasant thought, I will leave you for today. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, when I get the link to that podcast, I will post it or let you know how you can find it. And go look for me. I thought it was good. I don't know. But then again, that's just me. And I'll be back tomorrow. And yeah, we'll talk more Eagles again. Again, what the hell else are we going to talk about? But I will tell you one thing, my friends. The Phillies, the bats, the balls, the gloves, everything, the pine tar, everything's headed down to Florida. They put everything on the truck. It's going down. If maybe it's there by in Clearwater. The boys will be back in Florida soon. Really, so like next week for lots of. So baseball is right around the corner. Can you believe that? Baseball season is almost here. Reiki. Which is good. Which is good. It means good times are on the horizon. Going out to the ballpark, warm summer nights, enjoying Phillies baseball. Huh? Well, you can't get much better than that. Especially for an old guy like me who's 118 years old. All right, everybody, take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace and love. And go Eagles. Even though you don't play till Sunday, just go anyway. So, take care. Bye.